Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a match between Shuttle and sAviOr here on Fighting Spirit. Could not be more excited for this. Top left-hand corner, we have the brown Protoss player. It is Shuttle. Man, he's a terrifying Protoss player. And in the bottom left, it is sAviOr, the orange Zerg player. He is swarming. He is excellent at macro and micro and spell casting. I have no idea who's going to win this. But I think Shuttle is going to give sAviOr all he can handle this match. This is going to be the Patreon cast for the week of December the 1st. Thank you very much for supporting me on patreon.com/FalconPaladin for as little as $1 a month if you're watching this the week of December 1st. If you're watching this in, let's say, 2021, well, greetings from the past. And hit that like button because it's going to be on YouTube. Alrighty then, so scouting the correct direction is this probe. Overlord scouting the correct direction as well. I think that's a pretty rare occurrence on a 4-player map like this, especially in a ZVP, but I think he's going to go ahead and be able to block the hatch here, unless it's an overpool. Yeah, it's an overpool here from sAviOr. There we go. Overlord pops, pool down, probe. You know, scouting around, harassing a little bit, taking some hits from the enemy drones who don't appreciate having a probe in the house. Would you appreciate having a probe in your house? If he was zapping you with a little zappy thing all the time, I'd be annoyed. I'd be like, come on, man, you can't do that here. This is not the place for this. That's what the drones are saying. We're just supposed to be mining, dude. Leave us alone. So at this point, I think you can... You don't want to go Nexus first, but you want to get a Forge... Yeah, because if you're worried about the early Zerglings, the Overlord is coming, sees what we're dealing with. So at this point, just going to try to block the hatch as long as possible, which should be pretty... Oh, hang on. That's now. You have... Go! Oh, gosh. He had a window. He did. He had the window, and then he... Okay, well, this is getting, honestly, officially frustrating now for sAviOr. I love you can kind of see the animation of the drone, like, seating, right? Like, sitting down before he turns himself into it. Oh, wow, we got that one, huh? I didn't expect that whatsoever. Well, it's cool. So, cannon coming up. And the probe says, oh, yes, you have 6 lings. I see. So, we're going to want a cannon, probably a second cannon, and probably going to want to bring some probes down to help stay alive against this oncoming Zergling onslaught. It's not necessarily all about staying alive. You also don't want lings inside your base for the next 10 minutes, which is what's going to happen if 2 lings get inside your base. Or even 1, depending on how well it's microed. sAviOr's micro is insanely good. Jadong level, I would say. Oh, the probe died. Run by! Go! You, come on, the probe's not holding that line. Yeah, well, now there's other probes back here, and I think the window is officially closed. See, that's what happens. You have these little tiny windows in StarCraft where you can do stuff, and if you don't, So I think he still could have gotten some lings in there. Now there's 2 cannons. That's probably not happening, but he decided he'd rather keep the lings alive and out here and scouting and having a bit of a contain up, right? So if there is a zealot that decides to move on out, it has to contend with 6 lings instead of, you know, 0. Or if, you know, he remakes the lings, that counts as drones that he's losing. I love the third base timing here at about 3 minutes. On the bottom right-hand side, you low ground against Protoss on this map for your third base as Zerg. And, yeah, Cybercore coming in. So everything pretty kosher up here for Shuttle. I gotta say, Shuttle's going to get those Archons, get that Storm, make use of those Reavers, obviously have some Shuttle stuff happening because he loves the Shuttle. Although I think the last time I lauded Shuttle's shuttle control, he immediately lost it. It was like, Shuttle, he is the Shuttle King. Look at him micro this thing and keep it alive. And then it flew into like 4 hydras and died. It was an embarrassing moment, but it just goes to show Brood War is a difficult game, even for the best. Even for the best among us at this game. It's hard. It is hard to play. And it's all about mistakes. I'll always remember, Artosis said, it's about who makes the fewest mistakes, not who plays the perfect game, because there is no perfect game of StarCraft, I don't think. I guess the shorter the game is, the more perfect it can be. Right? Like if it's a 4-pool. If it's something insane out of the Zerg, back when spawning pools cost 150 minerals. Which, by the way, if you didn't... Okay. I did not get as much attention as I thought I would for number 1. A game from 2001 September 2001, September 6th, these games were played. And Maynard, the guy who invented the Maynard transfer. There's just very little interest for that compared to other stuff, and I'm kind of surprised. So if you didn't watch it, go check it out, man. That's the guy who came up with a strategy that is still used today and named after him. He's 40 years old now, but he was playing back in 2001, and it's just fun to see what was going on back then. I believe it was something like patch 108, which is post the final balance patch. No, I think that was 2002. Anyway, it's back at the time that spawning pools were 150 minerals. So it was very possible to go for a super duper fast pool. Anyway, that is a Templar Archives. That is a zippity zoot Templar Archives there. We're going for Storm because we're worried about Hydras would be my guess. Should we be worried about Hydras? Probably not, as there's not a Hydralisk Den in production right now. A lot of macro hatches, which again, the better players have the macro hatches. Oh my gosh, and he's going to take a 4th base. Dude, I love this from sAviOr, unless he gets absolutely punished by what Shuttle's follow-up here is. sAviOr's going to have a massive lead. Oh, and he's just making Corsairs. That's not going to help you deal with this. Corsairs, yes, they can supply block sAviOr a little bit here and there. Yes, they can annoy him, but they can't do anything about this drone count. They can't do anything about this base count. Dude, this 4 base count that sAviOr's rolling with at 6 minutes is honestly inspiring. And the extra macro hatches he has coming in, he's walling off against Zealot attacks that are probably on their way at some point. Because, oh, actually, DT coming in. A DT Corsair bit of a play. Ha 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 ha. Interesting. So there's a Hydralisk Den on the way, because you don't want to skip that forever and ever, obviously. Yeah, Corsair says definitely, of course, there's a base here. The Corsair turned around before seeing this 4th. I think this is sAviOr trying to get away with something, and he might just do it. This one DT is on a mission, and I don't know what he's going to accomplish at all. There's multiple Overlords here. There's a Sunken that can't be directly engaged with. Not that you want to engage with it anyway. Yeah, your mission is over. You chose to accept it, but it's done now. Scourge. No, not going to connect there. That's why you have a single cannon in your main base, is that reason. Maybe even 2 cannons in your natural base if you were worried about Lings earlier, but you just need the 1. Yeah, Scourge control right now, pretty fantastic out of sAviOr. Making 5 Hydras at a time. His anti-air is going to be great. His ability to deal with what I was expecting was some kind of a Zealot attack, obviously, but yeah, Zealot legs are on the way. He's making High Templar. I don't know if this is going to work out for Shuttle, you guys. He's not putting any pressure, hardly any pressure at all on the Zerg player. I like that he's getting a 3rd base, but the 4th has been rolling for some time for sAviOr. Lings can't get up that ramp because there's a Zealot wall, but we're going to try to draw them away in case they're not on hold position. But they were. Storm coming in at 8 minutes, and I don't think sAviOr has any intent of trying to kill sAviOr right now. So the Storm's going to be offensive rather than defensive. Although, I say that, and then Hydras start cruising across the map here. We're working on Hydra range, and 8 more Hydras at a time. So a 4 base Hydra Ling style play here. I kind of love it. I do. Do the Overlords have speed? It'd be nice to have Overlords up. Yes, they do. It'd be real nice to have Overlords up here against the DTs that exist. I've been trying to use the arrow keys a little bit more instead of scrolling to the edge there, but it seems just as kind of choppy and fast as the other way. Okay, so the Corsairs do take down the Overlords, and the Zealot's doing pretty fantastically well with their +1 attack against these Hydras. Are you kidding? Dude, they're just... That's a 4-kill Zealot right there. 5-kill Zealot right there. Additional Hydras do show up. Get up the ramp so you can actually kill these cannons, please. Also, the cannons, I think, might be the priority, although the Zealots are dead. The Corsairs are kind of a priority, too. Okay, yeah. Oh, great Storm, though. Yeah, the cannons are going to die faster once you turn your attention to them. All right, DT, this is what I was waiting for. DT to wander in and just hammer away at these Hydralisks. So it was a nice little attack from sAviOr. I like it. Forced a big evacuation of drones from the 3rd base. There's more units coming in. Dude, sAviOr is just on top of the world right now. I did not expect him to play this well against Shuttle, but he gambled. He went for the quick 4th base. There was no punishment. There was no ability to do anything about that at all. Yes, the Corsair count is high. Yes, the Overlords are in trouble, but the third base just died for Shuttle. He's on 2 bases at 10 minutes. It's emergency time for Shuttle. He's looking for Overlords. There's a Queen's Nest coming in from sAviOr. He's going to go for that Hive Tech. Soon he's going to have Plague. Soon he's going to have Dark Swarm. All of this stuff is going to spell disaster for Shuttle. Yeah, I mean, there's enough Zealots, again, with +1 attack, that your Hydras aren't going to be able to do much. You don't throw away army units trying to kill a natural base when you don't have to. That's exactly what he's doing. Overlord coming in for the Scout. I guess the other thing, the smoothest way to scroll actually is by right-clicking on a unit that's moving. And then the scrolling is beautiful. Really well done, actually. But with the arrows, it's not as good. So whatever. Yeah, I mean, this Zealot attack should have really come down about 4 minutes ago. I mean, it's nice that it's happening now. I'm not going to say it's a horrible idea, but there's already Lurkers. There's 2 Sunkens. A bunch of Hydras with armor upgrades there, too. And third base now warping in from Shuttle. This has all the markings of a sAviOr win here at 11 minutes. I know I'm going to curse it. I know that's how this works. But my goodness. Nice Lurker snipe there, by the way. Oh, but the High Templars dying is not good for them. Chase them. Ooh, gets away with all of 10 HP. A Lurker Hydra. Jeez. It was really good up until this High Templar showed up, and that's how we're going to win this thing if we're going to win this thing if your Shuttle is stormed. You know, in the latest, the most recent balance patch that Brutal War ever got, 1.08, they reduced the damage done by Psionic Storm. Did they say how much? No, they did not. That's not how they rolled back then. Why would they tell us those things? This one Lurker is not going to accomplish much. I'd be surprised if it got a single kill here, but... Actually, it did get... Oh, it's actually getting some cancels on some stuff. Ah, I had to kill his own Zealot, and the splash damage took down the Lurker. Ouch. Ultimate sacrifice for that Zealot. So, million macro hatches, 4 basing Zerg player. Honestly, taking a 5th here. I was going to say 5th base timing. It's a little bit late, but he was trying to kill that 3rd, and he did kill it successfully once. So I think we're going to call it good. It's 124 and a 104 supply. Shuttle does have a lead overall in supply. A lot of that is Zealots, which the Lurkers are going to handle fairly effectively. Assuming it's paired with Plague especially. So there's your Hive. Does he not have a Defiler Mound? I'm just realizing. The Hive finish, production tab says nothing about the Defiler. And... Oh, sAviOr, come on, man. Don't ruin this. Don't ruin this for yourself. You're looking really, really good. I mean, it's a big, scary gateway army, in fairness. +2 attack, Dragoons. Okay, so Defiler Mound gets started a while after the Hive finishes, unfortunately. So no Dark Swarm available for this attack. Adrenal Glands is on the way, which is going to be fantastic. Like, Adrenal cannot be discounted as a super mega important upgrade, especially if your opponent is making 9 Dragoons at a time. Adrenal is going to be amazing. So 5th base, about ready to pop here from sAviOr. Lurkers in production, and Shuttle's just giving, I don't know, he's giving sAviOr the time he needs to do what he needs to do, and I don't appreciate it. So Consume immediately starts upon completion of that Defiler Mound. Cannot argue with that. It doesn't take that long to research, I don't think, compared to some other researched spells. Hydra attack, cruising up to the north. Oh, that's a free probe. We'll take a free probe, thank you. You have any High Templar here? Of course you do. Your Shuttle. You're not going to leave a base undefended. If you leave a base without High Templar on it or Reavers at this stage of the game, you're leaving it undefended. You're asking the Zerg to please kill it. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like this. Hydras and Lings versus this largely Dragoon composition? Absolutely. That's fantastic. Nice snipe on that Observer. And I guess it helps future Lurkers get stuff done. Oh my gosh, it's another base though. Shuttle taking a 4th base like a boss at 14 minutes. And, ooh, okay. This is what separates the good Zergs from the elite Zergs who actually beat elite Protoss drops. It just is. Corsairs trying to get stuff done. Ow. No, there's enough Scourge on the escort here that doesn't happen. Zealots are here. They see this coming, though. I guess. Where do you want to unload? Oh, now there's Storm following you. Well, that's not going to work out at all, is it? Maybe move over to the third base? Anywhere you unload is immediately going to get stormed. I like this. Okay, okay. He's kind of spreading everything out. I like this from him. All right. This is actually fairly damaging. And then he's just flooding the front. Oh, snipes a High Templar just at the second that he gets one single storm off. Hydras and Lings pushing the front right now. These lurkers are still here, going after Pylon, stopping all of the gas mining from that main base now. That's incredible stuff. sAviOr is down in supply, yet doing so much work. Oh, is he going to cancel this upgrade? I feel like he's going to cancel this. He can do it if he focuses the Forge. No, it's not his priority right now. Ah, that's so frustrating. He could have got that upgrade. That would have been so good. Stopping +3 and forcing a restart there is disgusting. So a couple pylons die. Again, gas income is slowed down. Fourth base in a bit of trouble. Do you have a Defiler along with you, good sir? Because if you don't have a Defiler, this attack is not going super well. I love this attack too. This is just sAviOr on the offensive because he can afford to be. Oh, Observatory goes down. Oh, no more observers produced is so big. He's so big. Oh, okay, I was going to save 3 High Templar, but I think they might have baited you into that a little bit. They're like, hey, come get us. And then everybody died to Psionic Storm. Lings with Adrenal Glands and +1 attack, jumping on these Dragoons. High Templar not getting focused, and therefore the storm is raining. Oh, fantastic storm on the right side, too. Ling's going to trade very well against these cannons, but not that well. Not so well that a couple Lings can take down, I mean, what is that, 4 cannons there? Yes, it is. Yeah, no Dark Swarm for these lurkers means they're dying in alarming numbers. It's 169 to 114 supply, but I can't help but feel that sAviOr is winning this game. It doesn't make any sense numbers-wise, obviously. So I'm probably just reading the game wrong, but the pressure that we're putting on here as a Zerg player and just keeping everything alive, right? He hasn't lost a base yet at 17 minutes, which I think is a massively big deal. Oh, bit of a probe transfer into the middle of Nowheresville. The storms, though. There are so many amazing storms. Plague Goo does get tossed down on that group of Zealots. That's what I was waiting to see, was a good Plague Goo. Poor Zealots, man. It's just all die simultaneously. I love these lurkers aren't even being bothered with. Like, they could move up here, and I don't think anybody would stop them from doing that. 11 kills on that lurker. This is, I mean, how unconcerned is Shuttle with these lurkers that are actively trying to kill his Nexus? Hold up, hold up. Okay, that's an interesting... Chasing the Zealots away a little bit, I guess. Stopping all the mining in the main base entirely is pretty great. If he could shut down this 4th base, 1 Dark Swarm and a Ling push would wreck that 4th. And Shuttle has to know that. Another base coming up for sAviOr on the left side. This is how good a player sAviOr is, you guys. This is why his videos get pretty good views on the channel. It's because everybody knows it's going to be a swarming, high macro, incredible micro style of Zerg. That, despite the fact that he's on 6 bases, he's at 135 supply. Oh no, it's a Greater Spire! No! It's a Greater Spire curse. Okay, we've seen professional Zerg players win with Greater Spires before. It's happened like twice. The curse is technically broken, but it worries me every time we see a Greater Spire come up. I get the impulse. I do. I'm like, okay, I don't really like going ground in this situation. So I'm going to go to the air. And the Guardians hit really hard, and they hit from a long range. It's great. You have a Defiler in this motley crew of yours? No. Why don't you have... Did he expect there to be a base up here? He might have expected there to be a base up here. Bit of a scrap fest, I would say. Just little groups of units everywhere on the map. Scourge down, but Observer down. I think that's a fair trade for sAviOr. Dude, it's a maxed out Shuttle, you guys. And he's massing. And this worries me. We need some good plagues. +3 is done. If he'd been able to cancel that +3, It would have been a major, major boon for sAviOr there, but instead it's done. It's mean, and he's just walking right down to the 6 o'clock base. Like, hey, this is my home now. Some lurkers do manage to get burrowed in. Oh, he's got Reavers, because of course he has Reavers. I told you he'd have Reavers, and Shuttles, obviously. Plague, ooh, all over these Dragoons, which means the Lings are going to jump on top of them and murder them more easily than they probably should, but the Zealots intercept real nicely. The Reavers are unsupported, which means they could do a lot of good work, but Lings with Adrenal Glands, a surprising enemy of the Reaver, it turns out. Oh, he does take down two. Does take down two of the lurkers, but ends up dead anyway. Observer is here to scout and see what these lurkers are up to, and it looks like the 6 o'clock is going to fall. There's just not enough Zerg here. It is 171 to 135 total supply, storming his own units a little bit. In the end, it works out just fine. Dropping reinforcements? Nope. They're just here to mess with the targeting, I think, of the AI on these Dragoons, which is fine. Another lurker down. Sunken's down, and yeah. I mean, the reinforcements are scrapping in here, trying to save this base, which we've seen this work for some Zerg players before, where they're just able to scrap in a million units, but that hatch is done without a question. I like the Hydra play here. I wish they had better than 2-1 upgrades. Oh, and then the Zealots jump into the 9 o'clock as well. And Ultralisk Cavern's on the way from sAviOr, but I don't know if it's enough to save him. The Hydras, again, pretty great answer versus these Archons cost for cost. If your opponent's going mass Archon and that's it, mass Hydra will trade against it exceptionally well. Also, I guess these guys are just here to make sure that taking a 5th base is not very easy for Shuttle, but these are the two newer sources of income for sAviOr, you guys. That said, it's 120 to 155 supply. It's closer in supply than it's been for a while. That did cost Shuttle quite a bit. Is he trying to Reaver drop over here again? Sure was, but I think the Reavers... Or maybe... Is that an empty Shuttle? I don't know what that was. It's gone now. There was some blood on the ground, so I assume maybe something Zergy died. Zealots with speed are zippy boys. And that's what you do. If your opponent goes mass Hydra to counter the Archons, your next round of units needs to be Zealots, because they will trade exceptionally well against the Hydras. They're expecting to find a base down here, which they will not. Oh gosh, did you really just... You really just tossed down a hatch. Oh, tried to take the center, a hatch, and immediately died. That wasn't even a cancel. That's just death. Yeah, I don't know about taking the center here, man. Shuttle doing some funny business, or attempting some funny business. I don't know. I need to see some bigger plagues against these Zealots for sure. That's pretty much your best defense. There it is. There's a plague. Ooh, all over those Zealots. Coming in for that surround. The storm is so good. Hey, our first Dark Swarm of the day, I think it is. This poor Archon can't cancel and dies in the process of merging with another High Templar. Brutal stuff, but again, the 9 o'clock base is also dead. Shuttle's ability to be everywhere at the same time is pretty fantastic. Another Archon dies. And these Zealots not trading as well as they'd want to, thanks to the plague they took earlier. DT in production. Dude, if this base dies, that'd be a massive win here for sAviOr. Dark Swarm, a single Reaver on defense right now. Okay, just kidding. There's also Storm. Where's your Dark Swarm? Where's your Plague? Where's anything in this? Where'd your Defiler go? The Defiler's here. He's just not consuming or doing anything else. This is big. If sAviOr can get this base, it's not a guarantee at this point. But if he can get this, it's going to be one base worth of economy on income for Shuttle. This is feeling epic tag game. This is going to come down to it, I feel like. I haven't said this in a while, but I'm feeling it here for this Patreon cast. The Lings, okay, 2-2 is great. Do we feel like Ultras would be good? Maybe not against these Dragoons with +3 attack. The Defiler needs to consume a Hydra. Consume an Overlord, I guess. Consume something. Plague this or Dark Swarm it. Take your pick. These are your options right now. Okay. Overlord consumed. Zerglings consumed. That's such a big Protoss force, though. Oh, Plague, ooh, Dark Swarm combination going in there anyway, says Shuttle. I do not care about your spellcasters. Everybody will die, and that's your good game. Ah, sAviOr. You had it. You had it, and I feel like that's a choke. Look, it's Shuttle doing crazy Shuttle things. Right? Right. That was ridiculous. That was an absolutely ridiculous ZVP. That Shuttle wins. I told you Shuttle will do Shuttle things, right? Shuttles, Reavers, Dark Templars, Zealots, Dragoons, High Templar, all the Storms. The Storms are so crucial in this matchup. They were sick and on point. I think pretty much every single one killed something, which is not easy to do. The Plagues were good and the Dark Swarms were good, but not enough of them, I don't think. And I'm telling you, there was a window. We talk about windows, right? There was a window where this base gets Dark Swarmed, 20 Lings show up, it dies, and suddenly Shuttle is in a terrible spot. But instead, he's able to fairly easily come down and wipe out the 6 o'clock and wipe out the 9 o'clock and keep all of his 4th bases running pretty well. He had some lurker harassment issues in the main base a little bit, but he didn't care all that much about 2 lurkers, obviously. And then just enough Dragoons and enough Zealots that the Dark Swarm wasn't going to be enough. And the Plague's not enough if there aren't enough units to actually take advantage of the Plague. +3 attack was great, and that is your winner. Just everywhere on the map. The Storms were sick. He lost his 3rd base and was down 2 bases to 4, and he won anyway. That is just Shuttle for you, man. He's scary. Scary, scary guy. End of the game at 25 minutes. 237,000 points for Shuttle, 214,000 for sAviOr. Ended up outproducing the Zerg player, or rather the Protoss player, about 2 to 1, if not more, and it is more. But ended up losing like almost 3 times as many units as the Protoss did, and that's your math right there. And then resources, he did a pretty good job. Outmined pretty significantly, out-mineral mined pretty significantly, and outspent by about 9,000 resources, but it almost feels like you need more than that, which feels a little bit crazy to say, but yeah. You might. All right, good stuff. Well, I mean, just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful game. Fantastic ZVP. Really fun for your Patreon cast of the week. Again, Falcon, patreon.com/Falcon Paladin for as little as $1 a month to see this a month before anybody else. But that's going to be it for me today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.